Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Celtic Unfit Review podcast. My name is Ryan Clifford, and join me in this episode for the game post-match for Hearts is JP. Like JP, before we come on, mate, we were talking about obviously the game. I would say quite stuffy in parts. Just couldn't really break them down and get more goals, I would say. But after obviously the result from the other mob over the City yesterday to that point, so we had to get a victory to get them chasing basically again. And I think obviously you want to have a good performance, mate. But I think overall, JP, it was more just get a win and get out of there. Because let's be fair, it's that time of the year where you just want to get points on the board. And hope you've had a good weekend, mate.
Aye, cheers, mate. I hope you've had a good weekend yourself. It's a good day today. Weather ended up a really nice day. It started off pretty dull and cloudy. Thought it was going to be one of the washout days, man, where you needed a brolly and maybe your waterproof or whatever, but it ended up a really nice day. I was surprised at the turnout and weather we had. Met at the game. I thought the first half was kind of night and day to the second half, really. First half, we showed a lot of energy. A lot of our football was quite good and comfortable. But it was tidy. What I noticed today, Ryan, I noticed, but see when we didn't have the ball, mate, it was a sheer intensity and aggressiveness when we don't have the ball to get the ball back. I thought we were really good at that today. Second half, we kind of lost a wee bit of our intensity. For the first, I would say, maybe 10 minutes or so. Overall, I thought we'd control the game. I don't think we were under any major threat. Joe Hart never had a save to make, so apart from that one, he came out and he punched. It was a close ball. But out with that, no, he didn't. I wasn't in any fear that, anything like was going to happen or anything. I felt the crowd getting a bit edgy, especially the longer the game went, 1-0. They started making changes. Obviously, I think they've, in all honesty, when you see Craig Gordon's not there and they don't start with Shankland, Mackay, the other big boy Smith they brought on. They're all kind of normal regular starters for Hearts, aren't they, normally? So when they're there on the bench, you know that they've obviously got an eye on Thursday night. So, as I said, Ryan, it's Celtic, it's no, like, if that would have been maybe, I don't want to be disrespectful, but if that had been maybe like St Johnstone or St Mirren or whatever, I think Hearts might have been quite comfortable today. They never really done much to break us down. They never really, and I thought individual performances in terms of players and stuff, I thought it's kind of hard to gauge as well, because I thought bits of our intensity was there in the first half and then it wasn't in the second half. But I thought that the players still showed up really well. I thought their game management was a lot better the day, Ryan, when it was still 1-0. And I think Celtic realised at one point in the game today, in the second half especially, that this isn't going to be another high-scoring game, so we need to be careful here. We need to, we need to try and be more streetwise and more clever. And I thought we'd done enough to keep control of the game, and obviously in the end it paid off. But the two boys, their own bookings, and then they go and do, they go and do it today. And for me, that's just craziness. And obviously in the end it cost them, because then we then scored another goal. So, but overall, mate, I thought we were pretty comfortable, to be honest.
I own the red cards. I know we'll speak about them and obviously Neilson comments, but like you say, mate, I think it was all about us today. Possession stats, like we're 70-30, created a lot of chances, passes compared to Hearts were miles clear. So on 2-0, if you actually looked at the stats, 2-0 flattered Hearts, because we had everything. But Hearts side, they were stuffy, but like we said before we come on, mate, they didn't really have anything. They had to shoot 4 shots on goal. They didn't have.
They never did any target though, did they?
So how can somebody cause you trouble and you're not getting the target? It's impossible. You've got to have something on target to make a save or show a bit of fucking attacking prowess, and they didn't have that. So obviously unchanged team as well. So he's sticking with his team. last year he chopped and changed a few times. Maybe the strikers were chopping and changing, defenders really stayed the same. At midfield was kind of the wingers were chopping and changing. If it was Maeda and Abada, but he seems to be going with Maeda and Jota now. I was a bit, I don't want to say disappointed because that's probably the wrong word, but I was just a bit probably flattered to receive him Maeda today.
I know what you mean.
But again, I'm not something critical. I just thought
I know what you mean.
He was trying, but I just thought it just didn't come off from the day. I just thought he was.
He's kind of had that kind of start to the season, do you know?
I think there was
even though he's getting involved, he's getting involved, but he's playing out. It's as if he's playing out the way, and he's no. I think he needs a goal to get him going a wee bit, if that makes sense as well.
I'm being honest with you, JP. I don't know what he is. Is he a striker? Is he a 10? Is he a winger? I don't know what he is. I can't tell from it. I can't tell. One minute he looks a striker, and next minute he's on the channels like a winger. So I don't know. Obviously, Ange knows that. That's why he's playing a bit wide. But I think for me, the standout for me again, that people are going to say you're probably backing up his fucking arse line. But for me, it was Jota. Just tries everything. He's so silky. Just his wee flicks and tricks. He just, even though everything doesn't pull off from him, he still tries and tries and tries. And I've always said, JP, you play football as well, mate. If you've got a bit of pace about you, a bit of trickery, if you keep going at somebody and keep going, eventually you're going to hit the jackpot. Eventually you're going to, because let's be fair, Hearts defenders, they're decent for the level, but if somebody keeps banging onto you, eventually something will turn. And I think the goal came at, like you says, I think the goal came at a good time as well, because most of them were never there, but I think when you start dragging on, you're like, right, we'll get a goal, but when's it coming? And eventually it did come, obviously, and then the second one near the end of the game. But like, I think I'm like you, mate. I think overall, because it wasn't a 7-0 game or a high scoring game, people going, oh, we only won 2-0, but I think 2-0 flatters Hearts, to be fair. We weren't brilliant, but we controlled the game, and I didn't like you said, I didn't really see. Hearts had a wee passage of play, and there was balls across the box and flashing corners and stuff, but in terms of hits at goal, there was nothing there.
No, there wasn't anything, and that's what I'm saying there. Joe Hart, I remember Joe Hart coming out and punching a ball. I think it might have been the boy Smith that actually plays it across the box, and he comes out and he just punches it out. But we weren't under any sort of. There's people running about me going, we're fucking rotten and we're doing that, and I'm like, I'm looking running about me and I'm saying, are you watching the same game as me? Like, if you think we're rotten, then you've either not played the game or this sport just isn't actually for you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just beggars belief with some people. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand it. But no, Hearts, as I said, we were really comfortable today. And obviously we're going to touch on it, but Robbie Neilson, his post-match.
May as well just we're on it now. May as well just.
No, he's kind of post-match interview. We controlled large spells of the game. Go and check the possession stats for each half. Go and check your shots at goal. You'd 8 shots at goal, 0 in target. One of their shots nearly hit a guy in the corner flag.
I see that one.
And you're like, come on, you can't be stunning believing the nonsense you're talking. But as I said, the same all with Robbie Neilson, he was quick to pick up on the 2 red cards. Typical Robbie Neilson. Whenever things don't go well for him against us, it seems to be the referee's problem or something the referee's miraculously done that's changed the game. It was like last season when the female reporter, can't mind her name, she's asking Ange about did the referee have an influence in the game? Because Robbie Neilson thinks so. Do you not feel sorry for Robbie Neilson? And Ange is like, no. Like, why would I feel sorry for Robbie Neilson? And he's like, well, he feels a bit hard, doesn't he? So, like, and what? If you think the referee had an influence in that game, you're watching a different game for me. That was his response there.
It was, mate.
And that's what I'm saying to him right now, if he's listening. If you think you controlled large spells of that game, then you're watching a different game for me. either that or your coaching staff and all that have got you hoodwinked.
It might have been Celtic and Hearts on chat managers watching makes it wasn't
Maybe.
Park.
I don't know, maybe the Lenny Galvin Stratton's iPad or laptop or whatever, and he was playing, you don't know. But like I says, he's definitely watching a different football match for the one I was today. I mean, I wouldn't say we weren't full flowing, we weren't like the way we were last weekend against Kilmarnock. But like I say, and I spoke to people at the game today, we're not going to be able to play like that every week, mate.
No, you can't.
It's not going to happen. But the big difference between this season to last season is we look a bit more resilient, mate. We look as if we've got a bit more about us now. In terms of our identity, we've got players now who are showing signs of aggression in their game. Obviously, I'm going to go into that as well. I thought he was outstanding again today. You've said Jota. I'm going to stick up here and say Greg Taylor. I thought he was absolutely outstanding again today. The boy has come on leaps and bounds. His level has been taken to a new height altogether. He set a bar so high that Bernabei can't even get in the team. I don't even think Bernabei gets a game of fives with the team now. The wee man's playing that well. But he's been outstanding. And I thought today there was a bit of Greg Taylor today, mate, that's now starting to creep in, and we're now starting to see more and more and more. He's becoming more aggressive. I think it was near the end of the second half.
They went to didn't he? Go nearly.
What's that?
It's because of the tackle and he went kind of close to him. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was the one with a ladder.
Right.
It's is it the boy just before he sent off? Was it Cochrane? I think the boy Cochrane goes to foul a badder, and Greg Taylor, no, it's a corner to Celtic, and he's wanting to hold the ball, and Greg Taylor runs there and he knocks it out his on, but it's the way he does it, you know what I mean? It's like, you could see the hangman in his face, and you're like, that's the side that, like, I want to see creep into our game. Seen one today with McGregor, I don't know if you noticed it, he went right through that big boy Haring.
Middle of the park?
Middle of the park, man, he just went right through it. Like, oh, he's not holding back here. Like, that was, so there's a wee bit of an aggression now starting to come into our play. And I'll tell you another one who's top drawer at it, O'Reilly, fainting it, he's going to go through it. The boy slides in, misses the ball. He must have done it about 3 times a day, mate. He's absolutely quality at it, man. But no, in terms of Robbie Neilson, mate, I don't know what sort of meds he's on, but that's wild. That is no, it is Ryan. I know you're laughing, mate, but that's beyond. That is beyond wild, man. I don't know what he's smoking, but wow, I don't know. It sounds like good stuff anyway.
I don't know how anybody can come out and say that that Hearts had passes, the small passes of play, but every team, it doesn't matter if you're pounding a team or whatever, every team has some sort of passes of play. If it's St Mirren, St Johnstone, East Stirling, everybody who comes to Celtic Park will have a wee tiny bit of play. That's just the way football goes. You can't be constantly, like you say, for 90 minutes fucking at it. That's just impossible. So how he can come out and, again, that's his professional opinion. That's what he thought his team, fair enough, but don't agree with it for what I was for asking for 95 minutes, 94 minutes a day. Not a chance. If Celtic, he was lucky Celtic won in a full blown day, because I was surprised. I know he was looking forward to obviously games during the week for them because it's a big European game, but
you could tell that with selection.
But the fact you're going to Celtic Park, we know your first choice goal, we know your first choice striker, etc. I was thinking, I generally thought we'd got back a cricket score. I was like, they're not playing Gordon, they're going Shetland, who I was actually talking to Robert after the game, and even he says, Ryan says, I don't rate him like Celtic wise, he says, but he's actually got better for he left United, went to Belgium, says during the week he looked a bit stockier, and so he was surprised didn't play, and I was surprised he didn't play, to be honest with you. But they probably played into our hands, I would say, JP. Obviously they played in Europe, we knew they were going to be tired, but you're playing Andy Halliday in Harlem middle of the park. Or are you going to give you stick? I'm not going to sit here. I think Halliday, let's be fair, Halliday's...
I think he dug more holes up in the middle of the park than they did anything else, but many times did he sit down today, man?
But I'm not going to sit here, and obviously they're professionals, right? But in terms of they two, creating wise, they're only going to hurt Celtic. So they set up to basically come here for a draw or no get their jotters took, and that's obviously they lost the game. But how he can say that they were all errors and passes of play. If people are big on stats now, if you look at the stats that would not come into your mind. The stats go 70-30 possession Celtic, which means Celtic had 70-30 in the fucking game. It's fucking no. I'm shite at maths. I was in fucking, what was I in maths? I was in one of the lowest in maths, and I can tell you that doesn't make sense.
Aye, no, it doesn't. No, you're right, it doesn't. Like I says, mate, I don't know what he was on to summarise that game the way he did, but listen, people say loads of things in front of cameras. Spur of the moment. He's obviously in a huff again because his team get beat. Maybe he's not trying to slaughter them. Maybe he was trying to cheer them up by saying something like, I don't know. You know what it's like. But it seems to be every time he comes to Celtic Park, there's a referee mentioned, or there's some excuse mentioned about this happened or that happened, or this cost his team or that cost his team. What cost his team was overall in the day they weren't good enough, and that's it. And I don't know how managers can just be honest enough to come out and say, we never played the way I know we can play, but we weren't bad either.
No.
But how managers can come out and just say, do you know what, we weren't at the races, we were beaten by a better team, did they? Instead of that, he's got to make daft excuses. The ref helped, the ref making decisions that he shouldn't. But go and watch the two tackles back. The two of them are on yellow cards, and then they go and do that. It's madness. It's amateur stuff. You know what I mean? It's
you know yourself, JP. You played football, right? See if you're on a booking, you try your best not to make silly tackles.
Aye.
The two of them are cynical. They knew as soon as they made the fibbles, they were off.
I know. And then they're looking at the referee going like that, what are you doing? The boy Cochrane, he should have actually been off the park twice in terms of, do you see what he done at Juranovic?
Wow, mate,
come on, man. There's trying to stop somebody getting by you, and then there's blatantly manhandling somebody to the extent where it's nearly sexual assault.
I thought the referee was poor, be honest. I know he won the game, so it doesn't matter, but I thought Clancy was very, very poor.
Aye, I don't think he did a great game myself, mate, to be honest. I'm not talking about making all the decisions wrong for Celtic or Hearts or whatever.
Just in general,
overall, I thought his decision making was really average.
There was an offside with Kyogo. Again, I'm that end, so I couldn't really see it. But from my angle, I was like, he's no off. And I seen it after, I was like, he's never off.
No, he's never off.
There was one with Jota in the second half. Jota's had to run past the guy to get past him. Keep it offside, and I'm thinking,
aye, and see the linesman's right at my side.
I'm like, you're at it. How
he's behind the play, so I'm like, there's guys shouting at him going, how do you know that's offside when you're not even up the play?
It's criminal. And there was one, the one that really bugged me. I think was it the first half, or was it? I can't remember if it was the first half or second. But there was one where Big Jens just stood his ground, tried to jump, and that boy didn't jump to give a foul against Sterling. I was like, how is that?
Aye, is that Janelli?
Aye, but Jens stood still, and he tried to jump at him, and I'm like, that guy's no jump. So he's
no, that was thingy. That was big. Was that not big CCV?
No, was it? It was one.
Aye, I think it was. I think that was.
But he stood still, and that boy's no jump, so he's had to jump in to get the ball. What else you meant to do?
No, and he gives a foul right away.
There
was one I know. I don't know if you've seen it, and it was Jens. Jens actually gets his body in front of Janelli, but Janelli's like up his jersey. He's got it like halfway away out there somewhere.
I don't think you put that down.
No, he never. No, we the big man won the ball, and the ref just played on. But it was just you're just like, you need to be consistent. If you're going to make one decision, then you need to make. You can't make that, and then they'll give. Do you know what I mean? It just didn't way up, and it added to making bad decisions. But listen, mate, a lot of people think VAR is going to be the answer.
No.
You're still going to have these people it's these people that are now operating the technology. That's the problem.
But the thing with VAR is it's only if it's obvious or the referees gave it something ridiculous that they think, no, here, listen, go back to that. But Newcastle game, that was a yellow card all day. He gave a red, but he's had somebody in his ear, listen, go and look at that again. Oh, shit, it's a yellow. But I know Rangers fans are going to say, oh, if that was up here, that happened. Going Neil's yesterday, I would say the Lundstrom one was borderline maybe a red, but I would probably say a yellow was probably fitting. A yellow was probably fitting for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a red card all day long.
Morelos had 2 goals at the boy.
He sold these. Again, I'm only talking about because of the game yesterday. As much as Rangers fans think he could be the best player in their team or the best player in Scotland, whatever, right? The guy's a liability. If I was a Rangers fan, I would want him. No, I'm not going to say he's contracted, but I would say I would get him shot. He's not used to Rangers because he's no fit, or he's already suspended, or he's away Colombia and he's come back overweight again. I mentioned a few guys into football again.
Mm-hmm.
If that was Lee Griffiths at Celtic, he'd be caned, and he did get caned. But Morelos gets nothing. That's in the paper this morning. What happened yesterday? On the paper. It's on Twitter. It's on the paper. But if that was Lee Griffiths that kicked out to somebody, or if that was fucking like Greg Taylor or something, by the back page news.
Aye, definitely, mate. I agree with you.
But people are going to go, oh, use a bias or Celtic fans. No, it's the fucking truth. I'm not going to sit here and talk shite.
No, of course not. No, it's you've got to say what you see. It's that old Roy Walker catchphrase.
Fucking Michael Owen.
See what you see, innit? See what you see.
Don't have a shot, don't score goals.
No. And I don't know what he was doing yesterday, Morelos. That was just talk about. I don't know. He just didn't look interested. He had 2 goals at the lad, and then he in the second one he hits him.
For a guy at that level, man, he's
now people can say you don't know what kind of force he swung his helmet. Pixie Minovic's done the same thing at Ibrox and got sent off. And for me at the time, I was saying that I sending off all day long. That was silly, but he done in my opinion.
Yeah, I still say it wasn't.
See when you do that, as soon as you do that with your arm.
What
did Shanklin do today? Because did you know Greg Taylor?
I didn't see that.
He got booked for it. Greg Taylor dropped to the floor. It was I reckon it was between the 70th and 85th.
I'm really going back to highlights, mate. I didn't see that.
Aye, well, Shanklin got a yellow card, and it was today with him and Greg. It was like a coming together with him and Greg Taylor, but the guy behind me seems to think he done that.
I didn't see it.
And if he's done that, then it's a red card. Because it was a red card yesterday for it.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, I think the referees, or when VR come in and whatever, they're giving themselves so much, find me now, how do I say it? So much opportunity to send guys off now because of the decisions they're making. They've got to be consistent now. So if they're going to get a red card for something stupid, everything similar to that, it's got to be a red now. All fans and people are going to start going, well, if that's a red last week, how's that a yellow this week? Why is that not a foul this week? They've got to sit down and go to, if it's a meeting, they'll say, listen, right, what's a red card? What's a yellow? What's borderline? You need to decide 2 ways because, or 3 ways, 4 ways, whatever. Because they're going to sometimes you yourself, because of the VR IP, they're going to sometimes make decisions either rashly or quickly, like we've seen in the past, i.e. probably on Big Jozo, Big Doogie, red card, and he didn't even think about it. It was just, I fucking couldn't wait to take his red card out. Probably same as lunchtime yesterday. Well, I call him, as soon as the red card was in his pocket, he was out. So he didn't think about it. But again, we're only seeing it on TV. We don't know how fast he's runs in like that as well. So that's a bird's eye view he's got. We've got a view of the telly. And it's fucking, excuse my French, probably shouldn't say it, but it's IPTV. So I'm getting a different fucking body of, do you know what I mean? I'm not getting a full perfect view of it. So, but on the referees, I don't know what you think, mate, but I think they're going to open themselves to kind of worms when it comes to some decisions because they either need to be consistently shite or they're going to be consistently getting things totally different. I just don't know what they're going to do because it's going to get us talking. It's going to get the people in the pubs talking, the fans talking, the managers talking. I don't know how they're going to, if they're going to just need to just do that. If that's a red last week, then it's going to be red every other week.
Well, that's it. But all we're asking for is a bit of consistency with decision making. That's all we're asking for. We obviously know they're human and they're going to get things wrong, and you know things aren't always going to go to plan in terms of that. But see, when it's the same refs, right, making the same errors game after game after game, there needs to be some sort of system in place where you go, hey, hold on a minute. That's 4 games out of the last 7 he's done now that, you know, there's been some sort of issue there or whatever. So we need to look at this. There must be something that flags up. Because see, I don't mean this to be rotten. See if everybody's shite at their work, there's a disciplinary procedure in your workplace that you go down in order to try and either channel you to become better or channel you out the door. So why are they any different just because they're referees? Is it because they're no full-time? Is it because they're part-time? I don't even think full-time would help them, because then they become full-time poor decision makers instead of part-time poor decision makers.
Well, see on that, right?
You know what I mean?
I'll put this to yourself, mate. Do you think because you're the part-time, we're getting part-time quality? But I'm more referee, right?
Well, you could maybe say that, but then you would be getting full-time poor quality as well.
I'm not a referee, but surely I know it's a faster speed, etc. Right? But sometimes you're getting decisions, and we're watching it right in front of the game. You're thinking, how can you not see that? And I've seen that for fucking 50 years of being the Stone. And he's 3 other guys that help him, and they can't decide it.
No, well, this is it as well. I mean, then they tried that thing, the guys behind the goals and all that as well.
Well, that happened, and that fucked us for fucking treble, didn't it? So.
Aye, well, that's what I'm saying, aye. The whole board, it was shown all around the world, but apart from the referees not able to see it, it's beggars belief. But more on to Kevin Clancy today, I just thought overall his decision making, some of it was guesswork, some of it was just inconsistent, and the rest was just shite. So, in all honesty, it's not because we won the game, but I still think he got things wrong in the game that Hearts should have had fouls, but it didn't. Celtic should have had fouls, but it didn't. So, no, as I say, overall, I thought he was poor. I think a big positive for his day, Ryan, as well, we've seen Hatate coming back into the team. Thought a wee bit of your intensity in my play came back as soon as he came on. His passing fucking range is unbelievable. He played a diag to Abada, and the wee man's just no read it. He's just no quick. He wasn't quick enough off the mark here. But what a pass it was, man. It was inch perfect. And if Abada had been a couple of strides forward, he would have been able to take it on his chest and then take it onwards. And then there was one and all just before he handballs the ball. He has a lovely wee cushion touch with the side of his foot to take it up between 2 players. I think he was unlucky with the one and all. He puts into O'Reilly. O'Reilly has a shot and the goalie saves it. Goes back out to Hatate. And he hits it. He just doesn't get enough on it. But no, as I say, I just like watching Hatate, and I think he's just full of energy. He brings a different sort of. You see Jota and like say Kyogo and Abada and O'Reilly, even if he's there, McGregor. You see them sort of their game lifts when he's there because they know his quality. They know what he's like. They know he's so good on the ball. They know he's composed. And there was a couple of ones a day. It was a wee triangle with him and Juranovic and Abada, and then it was. I thought Abada done quite well when he came on as well, Ryan. He's very, very direct with Abada. But no, as I say, I thought it was good to see Hatate back, but obviously he must be growing his hair for some reason. Maybe we're going to get another ponytail, who knows?
I'm sorry anybody with ponytails, but just shave it off, please.
It's like
I know it might be part of the style not these days, but come on, just shave it off and keep it in your wall or something, you know what I mean? No, but no, a joke. But Hatate, full energy, mate. Really good as well. Again, many options. I thought, again, I rate him very highly, but I thought Tumble, I don't want to say it was poor, but it was a lesser performance from him to what we know he can do. But again, it didn't be a detriment to the team because we won the game 2-0. So I wouldn't say that him playing poor was anything to do with the game. I just thought it was just him himself, his performance level last week as well. But Hatate definitely does give you more energy than Tumble, I would say. Driving forward, I think probably on the onset, O'Reilly, McGregor and Hatate, your middle if you're all fully fit. Obviously, Aaron Moy came on. Again, I thought it was some nice touches, but he does still look a bit off it. I know Harry Cool was saying he looks just about near fully fit. Again, that's on their data, so I'm not going to question that. But just from my idea, I just thought he wants a lot of time in the ball, and I don't know if he's going to get that here. But again, he's only here. He'll adapt to that. But it's some
I think that's his demeanour, Ryan. I think that's he looks a lazy player.
It's some really nice touches and some.
I think it was one of their nods. You see the one he plucked out there? He just killed it deep. That was lovely.
So he has got ability. It's just, I think as well it will be hard for him because he's always going to maybe be a sub until maybe a cup game or the new anyway. It seems to be. So, but again, when we get into the Champions League and the games kick in and hopefully beat Ross County, you're in the competition of the cup again. You're going to have games where these guys, like I say, Seagrass might play against Ross County in the Cup, Moy might play, Jack and Marcus might start.
Look at the bench there, Ryan. You've potentially got a full 11 there
I put on Twitter
a new team that could probably play there. They're all potential starters in the first team.
I put on Twitter that it's one of our best benches we've had in a long, long time.
Oh, definitely.
You've even guys who are in the bench, Johnson, Julian, McCarthy. That's probably about 80 grand worth of wages lying there.
Right.
Give or take, 70 grand, 80 grand a week. Wages leaving in the squad. Ayeti, knowing in the squad. Scott Bain, well, he's in the match day squad, he's obviously 3 goalkeepers, but again, he's not there. So, it's very positive in the bench side. And again, I'm a big fan of having a strong bench because, especially in the 10 in a row season, with fuck all off the bench. It was the same guy. People might maybe look back at YouTube or whatever, but just about every game, it was roughly the same time, the same subs at the same time. 65 minutes, 60 minutes, right? Ayeti was coming on and fucking Forrest was coming on, or fucking Elanusi was getting off and on, and it was the same subs all the time. So, no, it is kind of maybe the same subs, but you've got a big, because of the 5 subs, but you can pick more and have the choice. But it's just for me, the fact you've got guys on the bench, and I was you put in the chat actually, I think we should put in the chat. The boy Scott Robertson, Dino's at the club anymore, and he's still training.
I forgot. No.
I thought he was a Doncaster. I know it was last year he was on loan, but I thought he was on loan the new. Still, obviously, like Johnny Kenny's away to Queen's Park. That was pretty quiet. That just came.
He was on the bench for him yesterday.
Aye, but that was just came out the blue. That was came out like John yesterday, and that was him. There was no rumours. Nobody knew he was going away, and it was done behind closed doors. So, just shows you again, JP, that we don't know what goes behind closed doors because nobody knew about Johnny Kenny was going anywhere. And this guy, obviously, is it Said Hasabankovic? Is that his name? I'll get that eventually because
you're getting that eventually, mate. That's a good
point. If anybody's not really been keeping up with news, he's close to signing.
Sead Haskabanovic, his name is.
I'll just say the big man, and then you can roll with his
name. Or Syed Haskabanovic.
I was just going to call him Big Banco. Just
Big Banco.
Big Banco.
Call him that if you want. Aye.
And then hopefully he's no shite, don't call him Big Wanko.
Hopefully he gives us a Big Bang Theory when he scores some goals.
But mate, I'm excited about him.
Oh, you've just planted ideas now, calling him Big Wanko. Come on. You've just planted ideas now. You're going to have a social media coming away with that now.
But I do believe he's, for what I've seen of him, again, it's only YouTube and looking at his stats, etc. He's had 18 caps in Montenegro. So again, I'll talk about him more as we go along, but I think it just shows you that we don't know everything about this game. We done a bit of digging and we found out obviously that it is true, and then obviously came out more that it was true. So again, we try our best to get anything we can, but again, it just shows you we don't know everything. We can only ask people, and for us as fans, people tend to go to social media for their sources now. And let's be fair. There's some sources, social media, they may have a big following, but sometimes their credibility is just never near it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. In terms of Big Banco, as you want to call him, Haskabanovic, he looks deadly. He's 250, he's a playmaker, he can play anywhere across the front three. Why would you not want? He's 23 years of age, he's got 18 caps for Montenegro. I think he's actually Swedish as well, so he plays for Montenegro. Obviously, Karel Starfelt knows him really well because he played together at Rubin Kazan. No, as I said, it sounds like a typical Ange Postecoglou signing, man. And the fact that when Ange was asked today about him and he says the deal's close, we know Ange doesn't put his name to anything until something's a wee bit more concrete. And I think it's only just a matter of hours maybe now before the boy is probably going to be announced. I was actually hoping that they were going to keep it as a surprise today and we would have seen him being paraded at half time without him announcing on social media. Something like along the lines. I thought because I was kind of saying that to my dad today. I went, don't be surprised if we get in here and obviously, he's announced at half time. But no, as I say, it looks like another good bit of business I think they're doing with the club. Have you read that one? Am I right in reading that the part of the deals, the reason we're getting them so cheaply is because Rubin Kazan still owe the Swedish mob money?
See, I heard that and I heard...
And because of the restrictions now, and obviously the Russian football restrictions...
I only seen that on Twitter.
So all we're doing is paying the difference to what they already owe, and that's why we're getting them for buttons.
Is that works out about £2 million or something like
that? It's like, I think it's just under €2 million, right?
A guy who's 23.
But they paid. I think they paid something like 5.5 to 6 million for him.
Still to hit his peak, I would say. I know he went to West Ham, so you know yourself, JP. Fans will go, "Oh, we've played at West Ham."
He was an under 23s, though, wasn't he?
So he was 19, know what I mean, or something. So you can't. It's same me a Yeti. A Yeti went to West Ham. He didn't work out, but he signed fucking Sebastian Haller for 50 million. So there's no chance that Yeti's going to play when he was only £8 million or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I think again, like you've said, mate, he seems a classy player for what I've seen. Again, I don't know Russian football or that type of that city, that type of region. So I just seen by YouTube and you look at his stats and it looks decent. It looks quick on the ball, but maybe no flying. Maybe a 5-yard quick sprint.
Mm-hmm.
He's quick.
No, he's. I think he's very intelligent, though, Ryan. I think he's one of the he's a kind of Moravchik type player. That's what he kind of looks like to me, and what we've seen him in footage and other things. I think he's a player who will be able to link well with guys like Jota and O'Reilly and Maeda, Hatate, McGregor. I think they'll all flourish having a guy like that beside them as well, and it gives us options again, Ryan. So you could start thinking. You've got that strong a squad now that you can start to tinker. No, with the squad, I don't mean start tinkering as in start drafting people and bringing other people. I don't mean that. But you could start using, like, creating your own wee sort of strategies in games and using your own wee sort of formations, creating an overload where you probably wouldn't have a normal overload on the pitch. Mm-hmm. Because you know you're going to have amicable cover. Sitting just deeper than it in the pitch. You know, you could make it up as you go. I mean, the inverted fullbacks, I had never saw that before, Ryan, do you know what I mean, until Ange came in. When I seen it happening, I went, what the hell's going on here? Like, he's going in there and he's going to... There was one day that Greg Taylor was chasing a boy and he was at right back. I think it was one of the Hearts corners and Greg Taylor's he's at right back because Juranovic has stepped in the pitch. And it just shows you, it's not just that. Along comes with that as an energy level, that fitness and an energy level that I thought today was a good showing of our fitness, football fitness and physical fitness. We never sort of looked as if our legs were going or we didn't look as if we were puffing and panting. We were still trying to get the ball forward. It was just kind of one of the games in the second half. I think that it was just never going to be a high-scoring game. So, but the difference between the team Ange started to now is fucking night and day, mate. It's totally like, I mean, we've won the first 4 games of the season. When was the last time we done that? Must have been Rodgers' first season.
The Invincible season, probably,
Aye.
It's that
I
something
don't
you
even
say.
know. Without looking back right now off the top of my head, I don't even know if we won the first 4 games of that season or did we draw.
But that's
I know.
There was something you said to me the other day, actually, and I know we had a laugh and joke. You says about an invincible season. I went, why not?
I know.
No, but I was generally serious. Like, the way we are playing, and I know people will say, you watch Rangers. Listen, I was in the house yesterday. I'm going to watch Rangers. I'm watching football. For what I've seen for Rangers, they've no identity about the what to play. They're just playing passy, shoot in. They're playing long balls. You've got how can you try and score goals when your creative midfielders are Lundstrom and Jack? It's impossible. It is generally impossible. Lundstrom's got a decent pass on him, but all they're trying to do is hit diagonals to Ryan Kent all the time, and then Kent's get doubled up on because he's our main threat. And again, he was hopeless yesterday. He's hitting shots up to your house, mate. You know what I mean? So
he's up. I've got 5 dents in front of my motor, and they're all his.
There's 5. That's for yesterday.
I was just for yesterday. Aye, just yesterday. Now he was at Easter Road yesterday.
In terms of, I'm not going to sit and say that we're going to go on beating all day this, but I was just putting it to you as a proposition. I know we're having a bit of banter between the two personally, but I was like, why not? Because who is on form now? Who's going to beat Celtic Scotland?
I know it's hard taking in busy.
I know the Rangers game in the third. The Rangers game in the third's going to be, for me, the big marker. If we can go to Celtic Park, and doesn't matter how we win the game, it's going to put them back again, because I still believe, I've said to you the last few weeks as well on this, that I still believe that game at Celtic Park has done them big time, mentally and physically, and as a club, because that was on the scoreline says 3-0, but in terms of footballing, I would call that an absolute spanking.
That was
3-0 going on fucking
10
tries and penalties and cricket scores. That was ridiculous. So I generally believe that I walked out that day and I said to my old man, I says, that's the League One. That was for me, that was when we won the league, because that shattered them. And it's Barisic how recovered. Guys, he's not recovered. So McGregor's not getting a game now. So I think if again, I know it's a few weeks away now, 2 weeks away or so roughly. But if you win that, I think it's, if you go to still 2 points and then it's 5, they're chasing already. You're chasing your tail already.
Aye, well, you're spot on there, mate. Definitely. I don't think they've recovered personally, and the fans can say whatever they want and do whatever they never recovered. Mentally, they've not recovered for that. They thought they were going to win the league last season at a canter. We had a full rebuild. 15, 16, 17 new players brought in over a couple of transfer windows. They had a starting on us at 6 points, and we took it off them by beating them twice, home and away, in the league. They beat us once in the league last season, right?
And Gilles got 1 point, I think, 9 against Dange.
Aye. It's beggars belief how, some of the shite that mob come away with, you're just like, where are you getting that for, pal? Because that's just not what it's not what it. You look at the league table and that's not what it says on the tin. That's not what it says there. So, but if you're 2 points going into that game, mate.
It's no fucking Monsieur anyway, is it? Doesn't say it's in the tin.
Well, it's not on you.
I had to get it in there. Man.
Aye. It's better than. It's a bit of. It's not that kind of bonding they're going to need if they get beaten. They get beaten the third, I'll tell you. The fucking James Bond, it'll be Brick Bond. Fucking Uni Bond, we need to hold that crack together.
VGO Bond means Pepper Big on spokesman.
Aye. Coming in these Paw Patrol BMX. You just see him peddling in, can't you, off the bus?
He's Spider-Man walkie-talkie.
Roy Mackay coming up with Gaelic Way on his Tonka truck.
Aye.
Aye. Calling all Masons.
My name's Roy Mackay.
Aye, my name's Roy Mackay.
Fucking well, Roy Cropper.
better with a bottle of white Mackay.
But I think in terms of that game, mate, again, that's a bit away. But I think for me, for what I've seen for the rest of Scotland, the day I would say we again, I generally don't believe we've stepped out of second gear yet.
No.
I still think we're sitting. I think by the end of the transfer window, I think that's when you'll see it. I think again, some players might be thinking about moving. Am I gone? Am I staying? Can I relax yet? But as soon as the window's shut, I think that's where obviously it depends who's can be. I know there's another guy rumoured. I can't mind his name. It's slipped my mind for after big Banco. What's his name?
Yanni Atana, so his name is.
I can't mind his name, mate. There you go.
That's a boy for, I think he plays with Hatate Split.
Hatate Split. So again, that there seems to be that's the two that might just cut. That might be us. Well, again, I'll put that to you, mate. They're talking about the end of the transfer window. I know he's signed a new deal. I'm not saying he's going to leave. I think he'll stay Forest. I don't think there's any chance of him getting out the door. But does it spell the end of get him, the big man coming in, because he's a winger and he can play behind the striker? Does that put him right back again? Because but it seems that he's hardly played at all in the league. He played a bit in pre-season, but I just can't see Forest getting to the levels that I know. Ange's saying he's a good talker. He trains well. He's experienced. He can contribute in a certain way off the bench or starting whatever. But the fact he's not getting on when you're winning as well, it's not going to go for him, in my opinion. But again, he could get a new lease of life soon. We've seen these guys come in and they might up his level. Again, that can happen. But I think if this guy comes in, your four wingers that we know: Jota, Abada, Maeda, and it'll be the big man in Forrest and Johnson. I'm not saying they're put to the back burner, but they're doing the pecking order.
I would agree with that, Ryan, in terms of Forrest. I think Forrest, his better days are now gone.
I said that to you about a year and a half ago, a year ago.
Yeah,
I've said that. People, I think
what they've kept him on for, and deep down, I think it's down to sentimental reasons in terms of, the length of service he gave the club. But then I did say to you, when I was speaking to you that night, we were on with me, you and Sean, and I says, I think all the clubs there, all the big clubs there, you look at Real Madrid, they kept Marcelo on, and Barcelona did it with Puyol, and Piqué's at Barcelona, and a lot of clubs will still keep these guys going about the squad because it's continuity, letting new guys settle. They're big characters in the squad. Forrest will still have a wee bit of part to play, I would imagine, at some point. What that looks like, I can't tell you because right now he's going to get a fucking sniff. But I do think, because touch any wood, mate, an injury could be fucking nicked tomorrow. So, and then eventually it becomes, Forrest is right up to the top of the queue. So, and isn't daft Ryan either. So he's bulking out the squad in terms of, but he's bulking out the squad with quality. Not so much quantity, but quality, because there is zero project signings in that squad. Zero. Every one of them are off age 23 to 28. They're all fucking ready-made players.
But even the guys that who are young, like Abad and stuff, they're coming to play. They're no coming to sit like Kamara.
No. And that's the thing. Ryan, he's not even getting the run of games we saw him getting last season either, because of how well the team's doing. This is the thing. It's a big season, mate. We're getting a luxury now of seeing the team only once every 7 days, 8 days. When the Champions League draw is made on Thursday, we're in it, by the way, just in case somebody doesn't know.
It's the big carrot one, the big one that you're in and you don't need to qualify for.
It's the one that you don't play like 6 games before you're actually there, and it's the one that you just get to turn up that night and the Champions League music plays through the stadium.
It's the one you don't actually say you're in before you're in it. One of them ones.
It's one of them ones, It's the one that you're actually there, but you're not there. You're not like half in and half out. Your name's Hamish. You're kind of there, You're no.
It's not a clammy winter night, or clammy fucking summer night. Half in, half out, half in.
Half in, half out. No, you're definitely there.
It's not a Tony Adams, is it?
No, it's not Tony Adams, no. He's a raver, baby,
Aye.
isn't
I'm a revo, baby.
No, but so when the draw's made on Thursday, when the games come, then we're not going to have that luxury because our squad will be getting used then. So I would imagine things will start to slightly change when that happens. I would imagine, that's when you'll start to see other players being used. I mean, look at the bench today. You had Forrest, Bernaby, Segrist, Giacomakis, Moy, Hatate,
Ralston as well.
Ralston. Who else was there?
Hatate.
Starfelt.
Hatate, aye.
They're potential first teamers. Every one of them. Even Forrest, I would say, right? As much as he's no getting a sniff now because the guys are, the quality we've got now and the boys that are running about him are younger than him. But that bench is absolutely unbelievable. That could all come in and play a part in the team and still no make the team look any weaker. You've not got guys like Big Bio and Kendai Benyu or whatever his name is, and Kundai Benyu even, sorry, not Kendai. Or players like Patrick Klamala, who just haven't made the grade yet, but are coming in because you're struggling and you're throwing these guys in. You're not having to play Lewis Morgan up front himself anymore, or Mikey Johnson up front himself away at Ibrox.
To be fair,
you're not having to
that
play.
Rodgers threw him under the water that game, didn't he?
You're not having to play Marvin Compter. These guys are all projects, but you've not got any like loan signings who, at the end of the loan deal, they're not going to be with the club. They're going to go elsewhere, or you've signed guys on loan who wanted to stay with the club, Brian, and have now signed with the club. So things are totally different now, mate. And the manager's the common denominator of all that, right? He's changed everything in there. Obviously, there's strong rumours as well. There was guys talking to me about it today. This guy seemed pretty sure that obviously it was, it was a done deal sort of thing. And I don't know if you've heard, but apparently Midtjylland have stepped up their interest in John Kennedy.
I've heard nothing, mate. Heard nothing.
Right, well, the guy seems to know that John Kennedy's had now 2 meetings with Midtjylland about taking their position on as head coach. And there's now rumours of fucking Big McManus and Darmody and all that all following him. So
well, I heard OD when McManus were taking McIntyre's job. Who's just like,
yeah, well they've got that. They've got that job. But I think if John Kennedy was to maybe go somewhere like Midtjylland, because let's face it, John Kennedy probably does want to be his own man. I would assume he does. He knows he's not getting a Celtic job anytime soon, like the Celtic manager's job.
I think
so if he's any aspirations of being a manager, I think he needs to. If he's going to, I'm quite surprised at the timing of that. If that was, I said that today as well. I'd be quite surprised at the timing of that if that became a thing. I didn't know Midtjylland were looking for another manager. I know they've dropped out of the as far as I know, they've dropped out the Champions League side of the qualifiers. I think they've got Europa League football, if I'm not 100%. I'm not 100%, but I know they've definitely got some form of, I think it might be Europa. They're either in the qualifiers for it, or they're actually in the group stages yet. But I'm quite shocked. I was quite shocked hearing that today because I haven't heard anything.
No, I've heard nothing. I've just heard
and this guy says, no, he's definitely had 2 meetings, blah, 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 and the deal's nearly down the line. And I was kind of shell-shocked. I was like, oof. So I thought I would bring that up there just to see
I've not heard nothing, mate. Again, is that maybe what Harry Cool's there for? When somebody does leave to come into his assistant? I don't know if that's maybe what Ange's thinking. I'd imagine it'd be somebody either in the club already or it's somebody that Ange knows. I don't think it'd be somebody out the blue. I think it'd be somebody that Ange obviously, again, this, like you says, if that is true, then there was something already in the pipeline for somebody to come in. Celtic, the way we're working the new, won't be left to, all right, he's leaving, we'll need to go and get somebody new.
Apparently, Ange was asked about this in his pre-match Hearts. But I missed that. I've obviously missed that.
I was at
and he just says to the guy, that's something you would need to speak to John about, because I'm not wanting to sit here and answer for John, talk about John Kennedy. So it's definitely something that's came up over the last couple of days. But the guy I was talking to today, he was quite sure that he's had 2 meetings now, and apparently the deal might be close. So
I've heard nothing, mate. Again, we'll keep an eye on that, but something I've not seen, mate, but I know there's rumours of it. But obviously, again, you're talking about the Hearts game as well. The first goal, Kyogo, I thought was a good ball on as well, good finish as well. Giakoumakis gets the second. For me, they two are deadly. The two of them are goal scorers. Kyogo hardly touched the ball today. Giakoumakis makes one, had 1 or 2 chances, hardly touched the ball, scores. I even says to my old man, I said to you before I come on, people like to bet on. I'd never associate gambling with anything, but if you're a betting man or a betting girl, even money every week, you're guaranteed something. You're guaranteed at least a few quid back a year, because they're going to score goals. And it's going to add value to us as well when it comes to the transfer fees, because even my dad was talking about as well, there's still rumours online about Ivanovic on some of the forums and stuff, and again, I didn't think he was a bit no poor, but I thought he was a bit stuffy today as well, Ivanovic. But
I actually don't think he started that great this season.
But again, like I say, is it because the window's still open and it's hanging there, and once it's window's shut, then you can go right at least into January. Let's just fucking go full pelt. So, and if they were talking about 15 million, I actually fucking right ball. That's no for him. If they want to, if Nottingham Forest are paying 35 million, what it is for Gibbs White, then Ivanovic is at least 25. What's Cal McGregor worth? If that's what you guys like that are going for. I know he's never. I think when he seems that McGregor's here till his career finishes, right, because he loves the club and the captain. If he's going to leave this club to be the captain, is he going to feel like a lesser player going elsewhere and all that? It's one of the ones. But McGregor, if you're top McGregor, he's 40-50 million. Do you know what I mean? So the market's fucked.
In my opinion, he's a better player than John McGinn, and John McGinn was touted for 50 million to Man U.
I've always says, mate, John McGinn, if he came to us, I'd love him. He's a fantastic player. But at the time when he was rumoured, we all know what happened. And at the time, we should have just got him and paid the money. But on the onset, they weren't getting the team at the time because they had Armstrong, Brown, McGregor, and somebody else.
Christie.
Rogic
was there or not?
Rogic. They 5 were better than him. In fact, I've seen rumours about him going to Everton yesterday.
I've actually seen that myself, mate.
I don't know if that's transfer talk. And see if he goes to Everton, what a move from free transfer.
Yeah.
Fucking. But I own they two, the forwards, mate, deadly. I think if we're going to start the way they've started, I know Giakoumakis has been told he'll get more starts off fans, but I'd just love to find a way to play to Marina. I love it because I think they'd be deadly. I'm not going to say it's Sutton and Larson or fuck it, but I'm just saying big man, wee man, no cones, Kyogo, Jota. It's just get fucking cricket scores every week.
Aye, no, definitely lethal. The two of them are lethal. They read the game really well. There was one day, I don't know if you seen it or you remember it, but he was just unlucky. He just didn't have the pace to go on the end of it, and it was a ball for. I think it was Big Carter Vickers played it right at Big Giakoumakis. He just wasn't quick enough to get on the end of it, man. Because in fact, there was one and all with it was with Hatate, and he's stretching, but he just couldn't get near it. And I said to my dad, if that was Kyogo, that was a goal. That would have been a goal.
The two of them have got
Kyogo or Maeda would have got on. See that one Carter Vickers spread? Kyogo or Maeda would have got on that. Not a problem.
Two different jobs for the team, isn't it?
Aye, Kyogo's movement's unbelievable. His movement is world class. Different maybe.
I think I'm not going to say he's world class, but his movement's world class.
No, I'm saying Kyogo's movement is deadly, man. It's fucking awesome.
I think again you're going to be biased, but they two, in terms of striking wise, are the two best forwards in Scotland. A shadow of doubt.
Yeah,
Nobody,
there's no even an argument.
Nobody touches them.
I mean, they're already on a couple of goals each already, aren't they? So
people think you're biased, but I would not. People are going to go, "Oh, would you take the Rangers players?" Who would I take? No. Generally, like, who would you actually go? You know what? I've always said at one point in time when Barisic was brilliant, I was like, you know what? He maybe get in my team. The rest of them, no. This is only if I was told to pick somebody. Listen, you need to get somebody in the team to make a fucking question up or something. I don't know. It'd have probably been him. But no. Everybody in your team, like you say, is a squad depth, and the day proves that with what's on the bench.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. You're asking who you've taken out of their team, mate. I wouldn't even take off from Canoe.
I think Mason would be the last at the 5 sides down at the pits.
Aye. Some of them wouldn't even get a game. Some of them would be standing in the bar.
James Sands would be in the sand, wouldn't he, man?
Oh, man.
Playing these wee beach ball and all that.
James Sands, like quicksand, isn't he? He's got that many leaks in him, man. A plumber doesn't know what to do with him. Telling you guys get that many leaks for him. My granny nearly made a pot of soup last Wednesday night. But no, and then you've got, and then you see that first goal back for Hibs yesterday. Tav does what Tav does.
I'll actually that right. People like attacking wise, fair play. Scores penalties, which I seen a wee tweet as well. Don't know how accurate it is, but supposedly we've had 44 penalties in 10 years, and he scored 44.
He scored 44 penalties.
But if anybody wants to say that's true, then fire away. But I just seen it on Twitter. If that's true, then that's a bit fucking. That's.
Have you seen the one that's going about? And it's I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm 23 years of age. I'm now married the woman of my dreams. I've got 5 Lamborghinis, 6 Jaguars, 5 Ducati motorbikes, and a big swimming pool at the back of my house. Why? I've put Tavernier first goal scorer every game.
Oh, no, I've not seen that. But
I've seen that yesterday.
People, again, I'm just take away my Celtic specs, right? The guy going forward is very good for him. Deliveries in the box are good. He's a captain. But defensively, I know people go, I bet he does, mate. He scores penalties. See if you take his penalties away, I put it on Twitter, right? He's paid to play football. But first and foremost, his first protocol is to defend. You're a defender.
You couldn't keep things close.
You're a right back. Yours is to keep the fish in the pond. Don't let the fish go to the pond. And he lets out the pond every single fucking week. PSV, it was terrible during the week. Hibs is, see if you look at every Celtic game, how many goals down his side? Just about every single goal.
Just about every one they can see.
But yeah, if I say this on a Celtic podcast, go and look at the games. Look at the games.
He switches off. Look at yesterday. He just switches off. The other night, the boy Gakpo, man, I don't even think he'd enough money to pay back in.
But then
the boy Gakpo flicked that one there. He's seen then right after that, he nutmegs him.
But then if you get Abada,
he knows he's got the better than him, so he's going to keep running at him now.
But Abada and Jota will punish you if he makes any mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
Or Maeda.
Absolutely. That was one a day, and I mean, he sits on it and he talks about it all the time. He talks about how fast Maeda is. And he fucking dilly-dallies on the ball a day, Andy Halliday.
Oh, right.
And he dilly-dallied on the ball, and Maeda closed him down, and he fell like a big stupid lassie, wanting a foul. And you're like, what are you doing? I was howling. See when because I thought to myself, what did you think was going to happen? You must have saw him with the side of your eye going, he's shutting me down. So there's a chance, and everybody knows now Maeda is going to make contact with you because he lets you feel that sort of press. Whether it be a foul against or he wins the ball or goes out for a throw-in or whatever, Maeda is going to make contact with you. You are going to feel, I don't want to say the Rafi Maeda, but you're going to feel him connecting with you of some sort. There's going to be contact between the two of you. And the fact that you know how fast he is and he still proceeds to dilly-dally with the ball and then want a foul once he's knocked to the flare. Like, no, get up, stupid. You know what I mean? But it's beggars belief for some. And but aye, as I say, with Tavernier, 44 penalties, and Like I said before, mate, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Kyle Walker must be absolutely shitting themselves because I would imagine the two of them must be sitting behind the couch every time Tavernier gets a penalty going like that. Oh, is he going to get a game there before me?
Best right back in Europe, honest to God, man.
I know, I seen that the other day as well, man. He's not even the best right. He's not even the best right back in Glasgow.
I'm all for I'm all for opinions and people have an opinion, but see if you're going to have an opinion, going to make it kind of valid. Don't just spout shite because you support a team. That's like me saying Janovic is one of the best in Europe. No, he's the best in Scotland, but he's nowhere near guys like who's right backs. I fucking like Marcelo, who was Danny Alves, even Danny Alves.
Alexander-Arnold, come on, he's got to be one of them and all.
Even Trippier at Newcastle, he's superb.
What about his free kick today?
Do you know what I mean? You've got fucking who's the right back at Chelsea? That guy I've just signed for Brighton. Him doing that side as well. You've got all the guys.
Oh, he's a left back, isn't he? That Cucurella.
That's him. But even left backs, Barisic is better. No, man.
No, I know. It's crazy.
I know.
Let's put things into perspective, right? They've signed a guy for nearly £6 million or €6 million, whatever it may be.
Your bed.
And
sorry,
no,
wait a minute.
No, it's okay. Did you have a wee technical difficulty
there?
It's
all right. All right.
Was it a technical knockout? No.
Technical knockout, aye. The wee dog's chewing the laptop.
Oh dear.
Wee Oscar.
If he wanted on, he should have just said me, I brought him on, invited him on as a guest.
No, I can go and eat his dog meat.
But no, as I say, you talk about, like, put things into perspective. Sign a player for nearly, is it €6 million or whatever it may be? £6 million.
The left back.
And he's not even, he can't get again. Why? Sign a guy for £4 million. Saying that the team that he got him for only paid $500K for him. He can't get a game either. So, like, and these guys are meant to be really, no, we heard that a couple of weeks ago that they were the shit. You know, these guys were coming up to be the business. And I believe the word shit was positive in it all. Because so far that's all I've heard is shit. Because that's all it seems to get spouted as shit when it comes to some of the statements from him across the water. And as I say, it is what it is, mate, at the end of the day. But no, as I say, I think what we're getting good at now, Ryan, is in terms of our team, is we just take care of our garden, mate, and we take care of what's happening at our house. And everybody else sort of just kind of, we don't, it looks like Ange has got them focused in terms of, you know, keeping us focused on what we need to do. Never mind what's happening in about us and what's happening there or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, it's all about us.
Aye, exactly. It's all about us, and it's all about, like, what we building so that everybody can chase us and watch us. Because I know he's mentioned about no wanting to look at our garden fences and all that, and like try and get your own house, your own house in order first before you start looking at our garden fences. I know your man at Leeds was one for that, wasn't he? The old chilling Bielsa. I know he was wanting to get a wee swatchy about what's happening elsewhere, but no, Ange's been excellent in terms of his recruitment and getting things right in-house for us. And that's what's happening now. Things are staying in-house, right? So until it becomes common knowledge to the public, and then Ange will eventually put his name to something that he knows fine well is going to be concrete himself or what have you. And it's been really good, mate. He's been a breath of fresh air for us, Ryan, and all. And I think us as fans have been really blessed to have him as a manager. He's elite, mate. He's an elite football brain. His training methods, his strategies, the way he can get a team play, the way he gets them to believe in themselves. Long may it continue, mate. There could be big things ahead of us for us. Do you know what I mean? And I hope we see the fruits of that when because I know he wants us to make us a better team in terms in Europe. I know he wants us to put a better display on him what we've showed. And I'm really excited to see. I know it's going to be fucking crazy because we talk about he's going to have a go at this and he's going to do this and we're going to have a go at teams and we're going to do this and the way we set up, the way we do this, I think what needs to happen is we need to see it come, like the fruits of it starting to happen. And I think we will improve under him now and I think we will get better.
I've said before, mate, he's an elite manager. I just hope, like I've said here, while we're doing our episode, it's a European side where we're going to properly judge him when it comes to the European side. Get a taste of it last year, so game management side, I think he's learned. I think the squad's learned, actually. We've seen it this year already. Because I thought some of the games last year in Europe, if we game managed it better, Betis, Leverkusen, we could have won the group. You know what I mean? Instead of getting 9 points, we could have got 12 or 13 and won. And won the group.
Exactly.
But I think overall, mate, it's another positive result. No really brilliant performance, but you've won the game and not had to step out a gear to go and take it to another gear because you're only struggling. You only have to force things, just let things happen naturally. And again, Robbie Neilson was backing up whatever three he was backing up. It wasn't fucking the proper three. I think he was just away with it. But I think on the new signings as well, mate, come in. If they two were to happen, well, and we know Big Banco, I'm going to call him, is going to come in. According to Ange, again, it looks a decent signing. Again, I'm not going to judge a guy until he comes. You know yourself, JP, you can normally gauge after 2 or 3 games on his touch, etc., or a eye for a pass if I've got something where people are going to, some fans judge quick. That's just the way we are. That's just football fans. I know I said it about the big right back, Osaz. I said he wasn't a football player for Celtic. He's maybe low levels. People might go, he didn't give him enough time, but I can see within 2 or 3 games of the boy that right now he's not at a level. So we'll be able to tell with this boy, any new signing comes in, you can tell from a few games if I've got touches like Aaron Boy, you can see he's got touches and ability. It's just having to bring that to fruition with fitness, and I think that will happen because Ange, when he sign a guy like him, like me and you have said, just because he's no pals him, but just because he knows him through obviously Australia.
No, definitely. And the Aaron Moy thing's not a pals act, right? It's definitely not a pals act. He's brought him in because he's got ability and he's got quality. And he's going to offer the team something over the piece. He single-handedly helped Australia. Between him and, I think it was Big Rogic and Martin Boyle, I think the three of them sort of stood out for Australia and helped them to qualify for a World Cup. So to do that in itself is a formidable achievement. And Australia they're not blessed with world-class top talent. They're a pretty decent side, but they're not, if you compare them in terms of Brazilian players, they're not that kind of level, but they've done well to qualify for their nation. In Australia, I would imagine it must feel like Scotland qualifying for a World Cup to them because it's such a big thing. It totally lifts the whole country. Do you get what I mean? So I think the fact that he's got that, he's chasing that one as well. So fire in his belly there, Ryan, to try and get himself in the team. I personally don't think he's done anything wrong. I personally don't think he's also been given a chance yet. I'd like to see him start the game to see what kind of way we would play with him being a starter. But it's hard, Ryan, because you've got O'Reilly, Hatate, McGregor, Turnbull. They're all class acts, mate, and they're all basically what that engine room is has been operated on and what it's all about. So anybody in the midfield is going to fit, unless you play in the wide positions or through the middle. You're kind of going to find it a hard slog to dismember anybody for there, mate.
It's probably the hardest part to get in, I would say, in your team. McGregor's always going to play. He's a captain. He's the best, probably all round. I would say he's the best player in Scotland. I know Jota. I've said Jota's probably the best player when it comes to special talent and how far he's going to go in the game. But I think if you look all round, probably stats, McGregor's probably bang on. I've always said I don't want to sell my players, but McGregor could easily go into Arsenal and fucking Everton and whatever and play every week and fucking probably a standout. Because I would say McGregor's better than guys like Xhaka at Arsenal. You know what I mean? Who's a very good player, but I think McGregor could easily do that same job as well. So, again, that's probably the last point I can make as well, JP. I think that's one thing we need to do when it comes to if we ever get sniffs on our players, which is going to happen because of how good they're doing, and the World Cup's obviously coming as well. So if they do well, they're going to get higher value. We need to stand firm and not let these big bully boys down south come in with a wee cheeky offer and go, there's 15 million, we'll give you 5 million in incentives. No, if you want them, he's 20 million. None of this incentive push. If it is Janovic, if it is Vickers, McGregor, whoever it is, every top player in Celtic should be going for minimum 18 million. In my opinion, guys like Janovic should be at least 18 starting bid, at least, just to talk, because he's Croatia's right back. He's an internationalist. He's going to be hopefully touch wood from, if he's fully fit and healthy, he'll probably play right. I'm sure Croatia at the World Cup might be right. So he'll probably be right back for them because he's been right back all the way through the qualifying. So it's sweary, man. We just need to stand firm. If it comes to the next week or so, next 10 days, and somebody does put a cheeky bid in for Jack and Marcus and Kyogo, we just need to stand firm, because we have had a knack of selling players for stupid maybe money at the 9th time. But I've always said we sell to Ward for a good money. But at the time, I'm maybe back myself in a way, but we sold him. We could have got 40 million for him. I'm people think I'm talking shite. When he was flying, he was 35, 40 million pounds. No joke. That guy was a joke. And obviously I'm doing a wee bit and we get 17 million pounds from him. But guys like Kyogo, if they're fucking fully flying, they're going for at least 25 million pounds. In my opinion, that's what you should be getting if you want to go on the crazy fucking market.
No, I agree with you, mate. I think long gone are the days, Ryan, is getting, our belly tickled there, these kind of things. I think obviously Kieran Tierney's a good example of that. We get 25 for him, so, and then I think we got a couple of more add-ons. We've had good deals in terms of Frimpong, Big Dembele, still waiting on him being sold on and all, so we can make a couple of quid on him as well. I think Frimpong's another one. Aya, Edward. So we've had good deals, I think we've done well for Christie as well. I think we got about 6 to 8 million quid for him as well.
All in plus add-ons, wasn't it?
I think it was, was it 2?
I think it was 2 million and then including, I don't know if it was...
I'm thinking of something else. I think it was 2 for Christie, sorry.
But I'm sure there was no more involved in that in his deal, but...
I think there might have been. I think that it's like, he's there so long now. I think because they're into... Did we not get a sort of parachute payment because they qualified for the Premier League now?
See, I'm not sure how. I don't know his deal.
See, I don't know either. I know all these, and that's what the modern day game's like. It's all these fucking things that are all integrated into an actual contract before you even sign a player. This is part of what hodds everything up and all. Like, hold on a minute, they're not there. So you've got all these wee daft clauses all in here, there, and everywhere. No, I agree with you, Ryan, in terms of the starting bids for players. Let's see how fucking serious these are, and that's it, because we value them at that. Celtic's a massive club, Ryan. They go and have a good season in the Champions League, mate. The stock market value just hits the roof. And I would imagine Celtic, maybe not with them all, but one or two of them, Celtic's going to strike with the iron shot, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's only inevitable.
I think eventually you need to strike with the iron shot eventually, but no one the guys have only been there for a year and a bit. Edward was there for more than 2 years, I think, at the time. So sometimes you need to go, right, maybe now it's time to sell him, but no one just tried to build something. At the time, we weren't building anything. As long as what we should have done was sold him for, just say, if it was 35, whatever it is, and go a ready-made replacement. But Celtic aren't going to go and spend that money back on a player. They're just not going to do it. They might spend £5 million or £7 million, maybe 10, maybe at a fucking push if it's worth it. Maybe I might be wrong. I might be talking at Marcia, but I think any more than maybe like Julian Price, you'd be fucking. I think you'd be pushing buttons.
Aye, no, definitely. I don't know. You've just mentioned Julian there. I know you could, like the other way. There's a lot of money sitting there doing nothing now. Julian, I know he's not got much. He can't have long left on his contract. I don't know to the exact decimal point of what it is, but you've got McCarthy sitting there on a 3-year contract still. He's not even getting a sniff. He must be on a decent wage. You've got a Yeti you spent £5 million on. He's not even getting a sniff. Now, okay, he might not be 100% fit, he might not be ready to play football, but he's still sitting there gathering his wage. So you've got Forrest today, not even getting on. Starfelt's not getting on. That will not last forever because I do think somewhere along the lines you'll need to find space for him. Because now you've got Jens, and by the way, I know this might be a bit early days, but the big man looks really comfortable. I think he started very well. He looks as if he's settling in really well. I think he looks really comfortable with both feet. He's very, very strong. He's aggressive. I've yet to see him be tested in terms of what he actually does as a proper defender.
He's not had a challenge yet.
No, I thought today Janelli sort of ran him a couple of times and he stood up to it well. I think it was one Janelli did a dig and it bounced off his leg. I don't think it was Janelli, I think it was Forrest, and it bounced off his leg and went out for a shy. But it was one of the Janelli had a dig because he knew Jens was gaining on him. And he hurt it away by, I think he nearly hurt the fucking corner flag, right, man? I think it nearly hurt you. I hurt that sort of direction. And I was like, oh, I hope Ryan's all right. That's what my initial thought was there. I hope he's all right. I fucking nearly took his teeth off there, man. But, no, as I say, mate, we're in a good place, innit? And it's going to be interesting to see what the near future holds for us, mate.
I will. The last bit we can end on, mate, obviously Champions League. It's this week coming, Thursday.
Thursday. 4 o'clock.
So again, I'll be all eyes on that. I know we've all seen bits and bobs, having a wee simulator who we're going to get. I'm not even bored who we get. I'm just happy we're there now. And we'll just take on whoever we get because no matter who we play, we're going to be stuck with a team just a bit better than us in terms of prestige and budgets. We spent a bit of money, but compared to teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, even teams like Seville, they spend more money than us. So, and Milan, they've just won I'm sure it's AC Milan won the league as well. So, there's so many teams that it gives you a bit of fear, but it's no fear. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys come play at Bucket again. And I know, again, the media trying to twist things about fucking bring on Real Madrid. No, they're not saying that. They're saying they want Madrid to just try something different. They've not been to Bernabeu. See these play against these quality players, test themselves. I'd love to go to Bernabeu for an away day. I've never been before. I've been to Barcelona, I've never been to Madrid. I'd love to go. Even just to go to Madrid in the atmosphere, because it'd be these are the days where, as a Celtic fan, as I said, the way life is, and our life's too short. When these things come up, you need to take them with fucking both hands, enjoy them, because who's to say that we're going to win this in our tenure? in Europe. So you've just got, as soon as these games comes, if we get beat, if we lose, whatever happens, we enjoy the quality we're going to face because that's why we're there, because we're there to be there.
Aye, absolutely, mate. That's what came along with winning the league last season. That was the prize. It was up for offer. It was automatic entry to the Champions League for the following season, which has been absolutely unbelievable. And it's been really good or not. It's been uncharted waters for us because we used to playing qualifiers just now, and we're used to sort of fucking going, right, who are we getting now? And normally the last couple of years we've been kind of disappointed. We're drafting into Europa League and we're doing sort of hoodoos and all that shit you can talk about and this and but no, this is excellent, and the fact that the draws on Thursday and it's just kind of it's giving everybody a wee buzz. In terms of how we get, mate, we're going, knowing us, and Anne said it, I heard Anne saying this the other night, his luck is he normally gets the hardest draw possible. So we're going to get 3 belters. I don't think we're going to, I'd be really shocked if we've had a wee shot at the simulator and we've seen a couple of the favourable draws, as we would call them. I'd be really shocked if we got one of them, put it that way. I think it's going to be fucking Real Madrid, Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund or Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be something along these lines. It's going to be 3 belters. And probably the away ties if you've not had the luxury of being able to go or travel. You're going to be fucking behind the couch watching it with your family. The couch, that's when see when the couch gets in your, you used to stay with your mum and dad and the couch gets pulled out for the war. Means there's a big game coming up for sale. Because your dad's moved the couch.
Aye.
Oh no. No jitters is kicking in, man.
Aye, he's getting his 10,000 steps walking down the stairs, isn't he?
And seeing your ma's not there, that's when your dad's got a bad stomach.
Aye.
The old dire skitters, man, is all along a flare.
4 or 5 pre-match shites before the game.
Aye. I grew up for the first 10 years, I think my dad was a pup, man. I just seen my man ducking his nose and shite all the time.
Bad dog. Yeah, bad dog.
That's how they came up with that name, Mad Dog.
Mad dog, because of that.
Mad Dog. Was it him? Because he was a... Excuse me. But no, when the couch comes out for the wall, you're like Mama, you're looking on about, you're going, like, Mama's not cleaning. So, what's going on? Celtic must be playing. Right? We got a big game coming up. And, no, as I say, it's going to be excellent, mate. It's going to be good to see who we get. I'm just dead excited. The fact that you know there's going to be some sort of superstars coming to Celtic Park again, and that's just the ones coming off our bus. I don't know about the other team right enough, but no, as I say, mate, it's going to be really good, and I'm really looking forward to it. And moving forward in the league, mate, I'm just looking forward to seeing us. I would like, I've said it to you a couple of pods ago, mate. I just want us to see if we can, domestically, I want to see us win as much as we can. Just keep going and keep winning, keep building momentum and see where it takes us. People are saying we were flat today and stuff. We won 2-0. We never conceded a goal. We limited Hearts to 8 shots. Fucking 3 of them nearly hit the corner flag, 1 nearly hit my motor, 1 of them nearly hit you, and the other 1 nearly hit the guy with the camera for Celtic TV. But no, as I say, bring it on and let's see if we can just go and win as many games as we can and keep the momentum going. Because it doesn't matter walking away from Celtic Park, mate, your team's won, you've kept a clean sheet. Everybody feels brilliant, especially in the day the way the day turned out. I mean, I didn't expect that weather to turn out the way it did.
Oh, it was nice,
and it was really nice to like I've always said, mate, and my mum and all that laughs when I see it. There's always sunshine over paradise.
Even if it's fucking -10, you're still communicating.
Even when it's -10, there's a sun cloud comes out. And I think what was really fitting, I forgot to say at the beginning, was a minute's applause today for Big Yogi. It was really loud as well, and it was quite animated, and I thought that was good. I hope his family were there. I hope they had the luxury to witness that, because it was a nice tribute to a brilliant man.
It was, mate.
So, it was good to see as well. And obviously, it was really good. I think the black armbands and that, that's what that was for as well. So, no, it was good to see Celtic do that. And as I say, the fans, I think they said the whole stadium started clapping before the ref had even introduced it was happening anyway. So, that was excellent. But moving forward, mate, I just want to see us to win as much as we can and just see where we end up. I know we play them in a couple of weeks. That's our next home game, I think, domestically. So I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's going to be good. I don't think they're ready for us, so that's a bit that I think it's going to be funny.
I believe in terms of that game as well. I think Rangers' season rests on their game this week. I believe, again, I'm no finance expert. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes at Rangers, but if Rangers don't qualify for Europe, I think one or two of the big hitters will be away, or a bit of interest from them. But again, they went a season not invincible, they went a season unbeaten, and nobody bid for the players. Nobody wanted the players. That's why Golson stayed. That's why Taverner's got a new deal, because nobody wants any interest in these players. They say there is, but there's never been a I don't care what anybody says. There wasn't a concrete bid for 18 million, because Rangers would have sold him 2 years ago, whatever it was, for 18 million. Especially if it's I'm sure it was during the COVID situation just before then. So
tell me, mate, wait Tuesday and you got that road to that block here, man. There'll be posters or a potential fire sale depending on tomorrow night's result.
Again, people will say that we're talking rubbish here. When you look through the grapevine, you look through everything, Rangers will need to sell somebody if they don't qualify for the Champions League. It was like us, when we didn't qualify, we sold somebody. That's just about what happened. I think at the time we sold Tierney just before or just after.
Aye.
So, in that kind of well set up with the play, well, we didn't qualify for Europe, but we've IE got the money for Europe, but just no playing in Europe because we've got the money back to kind of. So, I think you're talking about Ryan Kent. I think Andy Hardy was talking about him playing down south from that, or Jamie Hara said for Spurs. I like Hara. People don't make his opinion. I think he's all right, but I think he was just maybe trying to please Rangers fans, because Ryan Kent, when he goes Spurs, his bench. So I just don't know. I don't know, but I'm like you, mate. Going forward, I think that their season rests on this week for them. Again, I think that'll be a detriment to the rest of their season, especially when it comes to us. I don't believe they're ready for us. Champions League wise, I'm just happy I'm there. I obviously our superstars that we think are superstars. You'll be see superstars playing. Hopefully, they see guys like Modric, etc. Because it would be good for us to see. Obviously, at the game, I'll be my horns about like that, but it's going to be my revanche. It'll be good to see. I've always said I know we get beat off PSG at Celtic Park, but it's one of the best games I've ever been to as a neutral, not neutral, but as a football fan. It was quality to see Cavani, Rabiot, fucking Verratti just didn't break sweat. I think Kyogo's movement's top class, and then I see Cavani, I'm just thinking it's a different fucking level. But I'm like you, mate, when the league just keep winning, keep playing well, and keep making them play catch up. Again, anybody who likes the content, please subscribe to YouTube. Hit your wee bell for notifications when we go live. Loads of content coming up as well in the next few weeks as well. So keep the fans interested. A lot of top quality interviews come up as well. And we're on Twitter as well. Me and JP on Twitter. Search the name of the podcast for the podcast on Twitter. And we're on TikTok as well for any wee funky videos. Again, JP, hope you've had a good weekend, mate, and the results helped yourself as well, mate. And hail.